The sixth defense against narcissism is going on a hero's journey. Hi, I'm Dan Cassenti, and I'm a cognitive psychologist and a novelist. I'm putting together this series on YouTube to help people understand narcissism so that they can defend themselves against narcissistic, abusive relationships. So, what's the hero's journey? This is one that's very near and dear to my heart because I am a writer, and hero's journey was a theory by Joseph Campbell that the stories from the past are particularly impactful, especially like mythological. He studied mythology. Mythological stories, or even stories today that people follow the hero's journey template, are the most impactful because they talk about how people change. You know, your characters in fiction need to change, especially the protagonist of a story. We're not going to be as invested in a story if we don't see a flaw in the protagonist that later gets changed as they learn and grow and develop through the course of the story. And the hero's journey is the most extreme example of that. People going through a hero's journey start off in a comfort zone. And, something shakes them out of that comfort zone. And then they go out into a new world and they experience new things that, a lot of it's going to be negative. I mean, stories often are focused on tension, and tension in real life is not great to go through. But the hero's journey helps people to transform themselves so that they learn something new and they change that fatal flaw that's been keeping them down and making them unhappy through life. So, the hero's journey is real. That's what I'm about to tell you about. Narcissism puts you in a comfort zone, and that might sound very strange. It doesn't sound very nice to be in a trauma bond. You've got to be kidding me, right? And you might be thinking that right now, but I'm not kidding you. A trauma bond is comfortable. And it's comfortable, not in its totality. I mean, you're going to experience a lot of distress being in a trauma bond, but you're now dependent, when you're in a trauma bond, on a narcissist to interpret reality for you, to help you figure out what to do. It's all going to be in their own self-interest. They're going to be using you, and for sure, if you were in a different kind of bond, you would never accept that kind of thing. But now that you're in a trauma bond, it's easy. All I have to do is go along with whatever the narcissist wants me to think, and suddenly I'm okay. Everything's fine. I don't need to think for myself. I don't need to do anything. And in and of itself, that's the fatal flaw. Again, not shaming anybody for being in a trauma bond. I know what it's like to be in a trauma bond, and it hurts. It's very, very painful, but it is the comfort zone. And you gotta learn how to break out of that. You gotta go into a new world. And you're doing that right now by watching these videos. These videos and the other help that people are offering on YouTube or other places, it's giving you information, and that's why I keep saying arming yourself against narcissistic relationships through knowledge. That is what you're doing. You're entering into a new world. And I think it is a new world for you because you likely lean towards empathic, you likely care about others and love others, and that's why you've been targeted by a narcissist. They're bringing you into that fold, into that trauma bond, because you have those qualities that they want to use. You're susceptible to it because you're so kind-hearted and nice and, connected to other people. That is something they're using you for. So this world of narcissism is probably a strange thing. You want to upset people? That's your goal? Boy, when I upset people, I feel really bad about that and get down on myself. I can end up in a depression over that. But you want to do that? You're deliberately trying? It's a completely different topsy-turvy world. Narcissists are the opposite of empaths. And so by going through these videos, by trying to help yourself, you are entering the hero's journey, and you can be motivated and defend yourself against narcissism by pushing forward on that hero's journey. I promise you that by the end, as long as that narcissist isn't taking drastic action, so again, be careful with what you're doing in these defenses, but when you get to the end of that hero's journey, that fatal flaw you were experiencing is going to be solved. You just have to keep persisting. You have to keep staying out. Don't be hoovered back into the relationship. You don't want to be there again. You want to complete the hero's journey once you've started it. Okay, well, I hope that video helped. If it did, please hit like. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Every time anyone does that, it helps these videos get out to more people, so you're just helping them too. Okay, thanks, and I hope this helped you.